Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is No Soundbites Allowed, and I am your host, Michael Voss, Dragon of the Southern Tier. I'm happy to be here with you today as we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a fact check. Now, you often have seen things on the internet. The earth is flat. The moon landing was fake. Bigfoot is real. We've all seen these things. But occasionally, you'll get a message, a meme, an image that will sound questionable. It may be real. You can't quite be sure. Maybe you don't know where to check to find out the facts, or maybe you just don't have the time. Well, we're going to be looking into one of those documents, an image that has been going around the internet. We've seen it now 3 times. And so we wanted to look into this to find out, is it true? Is it real? And we're going to share that information with you in just 1 second. But first, we do want you to know that if this is the first time you are seeing our channel, we welcome you and we thank you. We want you to know that we do long-form political commentary. And every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do a live stream with you. We go out on Facebook, Twitter, DLive, YouTube, all the social media that the internet overlords will allow. We reach out with you to hear your comments about what's happening today, how things are affecting you with your tweets, your chats, and your phone calls. And every Sunday, from anywhere in the world, you can reach out and speak to us because we believe in the First Amendment. We believe in your right to free speech, even if your government doesn't believe it, even if the internet overlords are upset. We want to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's go to this really interesting question. You may have seen this on the internet, this image. And as you can see here, this is supposed to be from FNB Bank, a community bank. And this always shows that it's a tweet or a post that came about 2 days before. But it's been floating. We've seen it at least 3 times now. The section that is important, of course, is a section that is outlined. And it says, the Biden administration has proposed requiring all community banks and all other financial institutions to report to the IRS on all deposits and withdrawals through business and personal accounts worth more than $600, regardless of the tax liability. This indiscriminate, comprehensive bank accounting reporting to the IRS can soon be enacted in Congress and will create an unacceptable invasion of privacy for our customers. Well, that's troubling. And you have to wonder, could this be real? FNB Community Bank, that sounds like a real bank. The ICBA.org, that sounds kind of original. Member FDIC, well, that's what banks put on documents. So is this real? But the other question you have to have is, but wait a minute. How can the Biden administration, how can the government get into my bank account? How can they track every transaction that I'm doing? And $600, that's incredibly low. It used to be $10,000, and it was lowered after the Patriot Act because of international terrorism to $5,000. But now they want to lower it to $600? They want to track every time I pay my rent? Is that real? And so we decided to look into that. We actually had a couple of friends ask us on the internet to say, Mike, is that real? Could that truly be something that's happening? So we decided to look into it. Now, again, the key thing that we're going to be looking at in this is the Biden administration creating a proposal that would allow the IRS to have access to your bank account? I don't care about FNB Community Bank, or that's not really important. Is Congress putting through a proposal from the Biden administration that will give access to the IRS to your personal accounts and your individual transactions? That's the question we want to answer here. So with that said, here is a statement from the United States Department of Treasury. The links to everything we're about to discuss will be in the description on the video. The U.S. Department of Treasury in a press release that was made on April 28th of 2021. And this explains the reason for what the proposal will do. The IRS is upset. They don't think enough people are paying taxes. They think people are evading taxes. And to be able to get all of the taxes that they possibly can, because the government needs money. We are $29 trillion in debt. And that is going up higher and higher by the day. And we see the Biden administration is spending money like sailors wish they could. So the IRS wants every dime they can get. And they don't think that the average American is being honest on their taxes, and that people are purposefully evading paying their taxes. Shock. I know. Amazing. So what they detail is this is from the American Families Plan. Now, you've heard about this. This has been touted by Joe Biden and the Biden administration and many Democrats. This is supposed to help America. This is the recovery of COVID and from the pandemic, the lockdowns. This is the economic plan of the Biden administration with Kamala Harris to help bring back, what is it that Biden says? Bring back America. In other words, make America great. Yes, this is Biden's version of Make America Great. And in here, the IRS, they need resources. They need more money so that they can better and more effectively take your taxes. So they have to upgrade and update. That's one of the requests. But here's the part of the proposal that I think is very important. Provide the IRS with more complete information. And in here, they say, when the IRS has information from third parties, income is accurately reported, taxes are fully paid. Okay, so they want more information. They want to make sure that all your information is correct. Going on into the third paragraph, importantly, this proposal provides additional information to the IRS without any increased burden from taxpayers. You won't be bothered. It's something you don't even have to do anything about. Instead, it leverages the information from financial institutions already know about your account holders, simply requiring that they add to their regular annual reports information about the aggregate account outflows and inflows. Full stop. Let me stop right there because this is important. And I really want to highlight that again. It is what the banks and the financial institutions already know about you, and the IRS wants information about the aggregate outflows and inflows. They want to know the money that is going into your account and coming out of your account. This is from the Treasury Department itself. This is the Treasury Department on April 28th, something that was barely mentioned in the news media. Nobody was covered. They barely covered this. This was buried the second it came out. You have not heard Joe Biden say this at any town hall. You have not heard Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer announce this as they're promoting the American Families Plan and trying to tell you the Democrats are going to take care of you from cradle to grave. They didn't mention this, not once. None of them have. But it is a fact that the American Families Plan contains a portion that says that the IRS will force your banks to provide them with every transaction you do, coming out and coming in. And to be more exact, what they're saying is, and this is in the document, which came out shortly after the Treasury report, United States Treasury, the American Families Plan Tax Compliance Agenda. This is the proposal. And in the proposal, in Section 2, again, it says the same thing. It is verbatim. The IRS will be able to deploy this new information better to target enforcement activities, increase scrutiny of wealthy evaders, and decrease the likelihood that fully compliant taxpayers will be subject to costly audits. As a result, voluntary compliance will rise through deterrence, as would be tax evaders will realize that the IRS has the additional information to do this. So again, it's being said, and again, it's the same line. Total account outflows and inflows to existing reporting on bank accounts. Financial institutions have to provide this. It's right here. It's in black and white. It's on the first and second page. It's as obvious and direct as it can be. Now, I want to stop right there for a second, and I want to ask you a question. Would you voluntarily give the government access to your bank accounts? Would you give them access to your credit card accounts? Would you let them know about your investments, your stock market portfolio, your real estate investments? Would you give them total access to your financial life? Is that something that is important to you? Does the Fourth Amendment apply whatsoever? Your right to privacy, does that include your finances and all your financial transactions? Because the Biden administration doesn't think so. The Democratic Party does not think so. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, Representative Anthony Delgado, look them up and down the line. They don't think you have a right to have private financial information. They want to know where your money is coming from and where it is going to. And if they can, they want to take it from you so that they can spend it on diversity training. That is what they are looking for. This is what they are doing. And they're going to tell you it's for your benefit. It's because of all those rich people who aren't paying taxes. By the way, the most wealthy in America, the top 1%, pay 70% of all the taxes that are collected in the United States. All of the funding that comes from taxpayer dollars, almost all of it comes from the top 5% of income tax payers. The bottom 20% actually get refunds, net refunds. They don't pay into the system. They get paid from the system. So to say that people are cheating on their taxes, maybe. To say that people who are wealthy aren't paying, they're paying for almost everything as is. And now the Biden administration is going after more. But they're not just going after wealthy individuals. They're going after everyone's information. So whether you make $1 million or you make $10,000, whether you get food stamps or any other federal aid, or whether or not you got an inheritance, you won the lottery, you have an investment, you're getting retirement income, it doesn't matter. Under Biden, the IRS wants all that information. If your kids sent you money to get, I don't know, you're on Medicaid or you're in a nursing home. Maybe you sent your kids in college and you sent them $100 so that they can get some food while they're at school. Maybe you sent money to a family member because their car broke down. It doesn't matter. The IRS is going to see all of that, and they're going to tax it. And they're going to tax it. That's right. That gift you sent to your kid and you gave them $100 for their birthday or to help them with a car. Yep, that's going to be taxed now. They're going to be looking for the taxes on that. Where did that money come from? Why didn't you report it? You think I'm kidding here. You think I'm just making this up. This is from the Independent Community Bankers of America, and they oppose this reporting. So on July 30th, the Independent Community Bankers of America said through their president and CEO, Rebecca Romero Rainey, and she said the Treasury Department's proposal to mandate blanket financial account reporting to the IRS would intrude on customers' privacy, create data security risks to taxpayers, undermine efforts to reduce the unbanked population, and create taxpayer complexity and confusion. Now, that's an interesting statement because it is being very clearly stated here by the Independent Community Bankers of America, the ICBA. They are being very clear that financial institutions will be required to report deposits and withdrawal activity of businesses and personal accounts possessing a balance of more than $600. If you have more than $600, the IRS gets all your information. So besides violating your right to privacy, Let's think about this for a second, because she mentions create data security risk to taxpayers. Well, has the United States government ever been hacked, by Russia or other agents? Has that happened maybe recently, that the Biden administration had to take on Russia, challenged Putin, and provided them a list of 17 organizations that are vital to the United States that they should no longer hack, that they should not break into? Have hackers broken into federal data banks and gotten information? Often, on a regular basis, happens all the time these days. That we have seen international espionage, we've seen national cyber attacks, we have seen national cyber hacks where information is gone. And by the way, we see the financial institutions, the banks, the credit card companies, even businesses, retail businesses, have this happen to them from time to time, although they are far better at securing their information than the United States government, whose information and its systems are way behind time. Let's go back to what the Treasury had to say. They need to overhaul outdated technology. Think about that. So in one statement, the IRS is saying, and the Treasury Department is saying, that they want all of your financial information, everything that you do, every dollar you send out and take in, that money from PayPal, from your friends, for birthdays, whatever it may be for. They want to know about all that money, but they have outdated technology, which means they can't protect your information. They're saying it right here. It's right in front of you. Overhaul outdated technology. They need to update their systems. Their technology is bad. So how safe is your data going to be? It's going to be totally at risk. And imagine all of the companies, all the nations and individuals, those negative, bad people who would target, even terrorists, would target the United States data to find out about your financial data to mess up your life. I mean, think just one cyber terrorist could go into the IRS and suddenly you're going to owe the IRS $1 million. That could be devastating. Thousands of people that could suddenly have these life-crushing debts to the IRS. And the IRS, of course, is going to tell you, well, no, you owe us the money. Pay us first as we do the investigation, destroying your life, destroying your credit rating. Think of all the damage that could be done with this. And of course, if that's happening, and imagine, even if there is one cyber hack of the IRS due to their outdated technology that they admit they have, think of all the people who don't use banks, which isn't a whole lot, but think of the people who don't use banks. How much trust and faith would they have to get a bank account once they find out, well, it's all up in the public information. Everyone's going to know. This is data that's going to be taken away. And does it add complexity and confusion? Sure. Who's giving away what information? When the IRS decides to do an audit on you because they went into every one of your bank accounts, all your credit cards, they went into your investments in your retirement account, and they watched the money come in and out, and there was $500 that you got in the middle of August, and they want to know, where did that come from? Because that money puts you over the limit. It's too much. You didn't report it. And when you got that $500, well, that meant that the food stamps you were getting, they had to cut that. All the government aid you were getting for different programs, that had to be cut. They no longer can give you SSI because you gave them a fraudulent information. $500, you didn't report it. You're lying to the government. Cut all of the federal aid that you have been receiving. And then they'll charge you fines. And you have to figure out, where'd that $500 come from? Oh yeah, when the car broke down and I had to borrow money from a friend of mine to get new tires, and I told them I'd pay them back in installments. And if you think the IRS wouldn't do that to you, you have never dealt with the IRS. Of course they would. And you have never thought about what happens when you have a government that is desperate because we are bleeding money. We are printing so much money, the money is being devalued by the second, and we are insanely overdrawn. Our national debt is insanely high. And so this is why the ICBA has said, nope, they don't agree with this. Violates your privacy. In fact, back on May 11th, right after the proposal by the American Families Plan that was put forth by the Treasury Department from the Biden administration, they came out on May 11th and they went over this again and they were talking about it. And they mentioned in their statement, asking financial institutions to perform this role of gathering all your information, piecing together a picture of individual taxpayers' accounts is inefficient and indirect, and account holders may rightly question whether this process is being fairly applied. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the people who work for the government are the most brilliant, best people in the world, that the United States government is a model of efficiency? I mean, you've seen the post office, right? You've read stories about the VA, veterans dying while waiting for appointments. These are the same people who work for the Treasury Department, who work for the IRS. So imagine they get something wrong because they misread your bank statement, because they didn't track the money properly, because there was an error in the math. What's going to happen then? How long is it going to take you to fight the government to try and get your money back? Or for them to suddenly say, no, we're going to take more money and you don't get a choice. What's that individual? And I know many people in the IRS are good people. Then again, there are people in the IRS who target conservatives and Republicans. We have seen that during the Obama administration, the IRS scandal that occurred during his time. We know that the IRS will target nonprofit institutions that are right-leaning, that are conservative or Republican in their nature. Why would the IRS, the same people who would do that scandal, that would attack conservatives and Republicans, why wouldn't those same thinking people with that same kind of thinking not target you as a conservative or Republican or a libertarian? What if they don't agree with your with your lifestyle? Imagine that you made a donation to something that they don't like. I don't know, maybe you made a donation to PETA. Maybe you made a donation to BLM for some godforsaken reason. Maybe you made a donation towards President Trump or any Republican, or to a libertarian like Larry Sharpe. Maybe you donated to their campaigns. What if the person in the IRS who is looking through every one of your financial transactions sees that donation that you made and now they don't like you because you supported the heartbeat bill, because you're against abortions or you're for abortions or whatever political position it could be, and that person in the IRS doesn't like your politics? What happens then? What happens if they try to abuse your information? There is a big danger in this. But again, and it has been reported by CNBC 4 days ago on September 2nd, and no one paid any attention to this. There is no one reporting on this whatsoever. Elizabeth Warren decided to look at this, and she's being told by the IRS, well, this is to get the people who are cheating on taxes. This is about people who are trying to evade. This is about the rich, the ultra rich. Warren said, and I quote, "This new information from the IRS makes clear that unless we significantly increase IRS funding, wealthy tax cheats and big corporations will be able to continue to avoid paying their fair share to the tune of billions of dollars per year while everyone else suffers." Really? Then why are you going after $600 every transaction in a person's account? The individual American people. You're not after tax cheats. You're after the American people. You're trying to find out about our lives. It's about micromanaging individuals and possibly punishing them for doing something that you don't like. Imagine that Elizabeth Warren, in terms of oversight in Congress, she's going to have access to the IRS and that IRS database to find out every single person that made a donation to something she likes or to something she doesn't like. She will know, and she will be able to have access because leaks will happen. And imagine that Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, any of them get your financial information and they know what you donated for. They know what you did. And now they can target you and they can punish you for not doing what they said. That's the problem with this. And you're not being told about it. It's the American Families Plan. Ooh, great name. I don't know why they didn't put in there, this is the American Thievery Plan, that this is the American Invasion Plan. It's invading your privacy. I wonder why they wouldn't name it that, because that is exactly what they are saying. So to make it very clear, when you see this, it is true. It is a fact. Joe Biden is looking to invade your financial privacy. He is looking to track every transaction you do. He is looking to take away more of your tax money, take away more of your money in taxes, and he is looking to track your political and personal preferences so that they can use it for their ability to get elected and to maintain power. Joe Biden is looking to micromanage your life along with the rest of the progressive Democrats. And they are more than happy to punish you, as we have seen them do this over and over again. And they will even go out to Facebook, because we know Joe Biden and the Biden administration talk to Facebook and other social media companies to punish people for having political positions they don't like. It's already been admitted. We found that out in May. So what do you think they're going to do when they get your financial information? Besides take more of your money, what else are they going to do? So just so you know, this is not some conspiracy theory. This is not some misinformation. It is factual. It is true. This is happening right now, and nobody is reporting on it, except us. Please share this with other people. Let them know. And again, I will ask you a very simple question. Would you voluntarily give the United States government, or any government, access to all of your financial information? And if you wouldn't give it to them voluntarily, why would you let them take it from you against your will without your knowledge? Please reach out to your members of Congress and tell them you didn't volunteer to give your information to Joe Biden. You don't want Joe Biden to know your financial information, nor anyone in government. And to oppose the American Families Plan and to remove this before it starts hurting people. With that, we thank you. We hope you're going to have a very good day. And we look forward to hearing your comments about this